You really want to know why I drive some of the most unreliable cars around? You may even want to do the same. Stick around, you're going to find out exactly why. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Mark with exoticcarplayplace. So getting right into it. Now remember, of course, nobody lives more than 100 years. And more importantly, life is way too short to drive boring cars. In a land of mobile milk cartons, caravans, Toyota Corollas, and Priuses, where the daily commute demands these types of cars to be a fundamental means of transportation, I like to ensure that my drive becomes more of an experience, more of a life experience, and something I like to remember. Now I realize not everybody has the same priorities. Everybody's priorities are a little bit different. Some people's priorities are based around reliability. Some are looking for bang for the buck. You want the best value in your cars. Some people want raw performance, which is really what this channel's about. Other people are more dazzled by features. You want all the latest bling, you want the plugins and the Bluetooth systems and all the latest tech. While other people are more worried about resale and overall depreciation of the vehicle so that after a 5-year ownership span, they can turn that car around and not really worried about losing a fortune. So everybody sort of has their own priorities. Some people even care more about the street credibility, what that car brings with the name brand, while others buy a car strictly for its pure driving excitement and enjoyment. But my channel, my perspective on this whole discussion really is more of, it's not about how much you spend, because you can spend a lot of money and get a boring car, or you can spend a little bit of money and find a really fun car. So there's a lot of great options out there, and I'm not about to spending just a large amount of money. I, as a matter of fact, have cars that range anywhere from about 10 grand. If you've got 20,000, 50,000 to spend, if you have over 100,000 to spend, I've got a perspective that I can bring to you guys why I drive these unreliable cars. It's not because they are unreliable. It's because of their fun factor. It's really mainly because they perform well, they're exciting to drive, and they're overall a very fun experience. That's why I drive a car. So I'm going to walk you through 4 examples of cars that I own that are not reliable, but I buy them and I own them because they were fun to drive. So here we have the E60 M5 beside me. That's the wonderful S85 V10 that produces over 500 horsepower. Spectacular performer all the way around, but with double Vanos issues, SMG pump problems, rod bearing issues, rear suspension problems, differential issues. The car is not short on its problems. And with that, you would think that you wouldn't want anything to do with that. But again, I own that car because it is so fun to drive. Right here, my Lamborghini Gallardo, worth over 100K. I drive this because it is so fun to drive. Even though these are known for weak clutches, sometimes oil pumps that break, and a host of other things. I mean, it's an Italian car. It's improved because Audi got a hold of it, but it's still not Honda reliable. But I drive it because it's one of the best sounding supercars on the planet. And here we have 2 more of my vehicles, E70 X5 and the E90 335i with the N54 engine. Of course, this car here, one of the best cars for tuning, but not for reliability. I mean, everybody knows with the high pressure fuel pumps, leaking injectors, wastegate rattle, turbos, leaking head gaskets, valve cover gaskets, leaking oil pan issues, turbos, the whole lot of problems here. But because they're very tunable and these cars handle like they're on rails, that's why I own it. And the X5, on the other hand, I own because it's one of the best handling SUVs out there within reasonable dollars. It handles well, it accelerates well. I can beat a lot of modern day mid-level sports cars with it off the hop. It goes pretty well, does great fuel economy, but you can really enjoy the ride. The only problem is, it's not that reliable. I mean, with turbo problems, DPF, EGR plugging off, carbon problems, fuel injectors, you've got glow plug issues, the rear suspension, airbags let go. How about run flat tires that are horrible to replace because they're double, triple the cost? These cars I all own because they're great to drive. And I'll give you some examples of certain elements that make a car exciting for me. I love cars with manual transmissions, DCTs, dual clutch transmissions, PDKs, whatever you want to call it. Dual clutch transmissions or manual gearboxes are the cars that really excite me for the driving experience. I also love cars that are exceptionally well connected to the road in terms of their handling and their turn-in and their crispness and aggressiveness, the kind of handling that you can feel every little pebble under the front wheels reflected through the steering wheel. I love cars with that sort of feedback and that sensitivity that really allows you to get that car dancing around in the corners. Of course, I love cars as well with really thrilling acceleration. I try not to buy too many cars that are blasé in terms of acceleration. I love the cars that are going to light it up. You put the foot into it and you feel that rush. To me, that's what I'm looking for. A car that's really thrilling, really exciting to drive, has that punch in the seat. And ultimately, it doesn't matter whether you spend 10 grand or 100 grand. Ultimately, I enjoy a car that really sends tingles up your spine, gets your knees knocking, gets your feet numb, and gets you overall really excited about the experience before you even get setting off. It really brings the whole experience together into one, makes you anticipate a fun drive, makes you want to take that car out, makes you want to actually do another 3 or 4 laps before you go home. It's the kind of car that you want to take out on that special sunny morning. It's that car that you want to meet up with your friends at the coffee shop. It's that car that you might consider taking to the track and driving the wheels off of it. It's the car that you take a second and third look back as you're walking away from it as you enter a store. It's the car that really opens up the exhaust that makes the neighbors shake and quake in their house. It's the kind of car that your parents frowned upon. They say it's not responsible, not a good investment. It's the kind of car that you shouldn't waste your money on. And definitely it's the kind of car that, regardless of reliability concerns or depreciation factors, it's the kind of car that makes you excited to drive it regardless. You don't even think about depreciation. You don't think about the rod bearings or the throttle actuators or the burning out clutch while you're in the middle of throttling that car, giving it in a hard corner, taking it to the track, winding it out in the big straights. Having all that fun doesn't matter having those other issues around you like reliability and depreciation. You don't even care. You enjoy the driving experience. And that's what I'm trying to explain to you guys. For me, this whole channel thing is really about driving cars that are exciting to drive, fun to drive, refresh your excitement for the driving experience, and not just be the humdrum experience driving from A to B. Sure, these cars often can serve dual purposes. Why not have a car that's reliable enough that can get you to work and back? There's nothing wrong with that. All I'm saying is, why not indulge in a car that can share that, can give you the excitement, and as well serve the purpose of getting you around. Just because you drive a minivan or an underpowered sedan doesn't mean that's the right selection. I believe that we're here for a short period of time on this planet. Why not enjoy some of that time? And you guys are car guys like I'm car guys. And that's why I'm not telling you to buy these type of cars. All I'm saying is, you want a fresh perspective on some fun cars? This is the channel. This is the stop right here. So thanks for watching, everybody. Remember the creed: nobody lives for 100 years, and life's way too short to drive boring cars. So make sure you give it a thumbs up, like, subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to hit the notifications bell right at the very bottom there. Lets you know when the next great video is out. Again, you're going to want to follow the channel because we're going to be talking about every fun driving experience that I've got for you.